guys. All right. So we are here. Like and follow as you watch along. Like and follow. So today we are talking about why people don't want you to be fit. You know, it's something that you wouldn't think that people will want the best for you, especially your family, people that you love, people that that are your friends, and people that you've been sharing your inner details or your inner thoughts about the changes that you want to make in your life. And then for some reason, whatever reason that might be, they don't want that. They don't want you to basically change your ways or become more fit or do something different. And that because that can leave them in their misery. People don't like that. So first, we're gonna start with a quick breakaway or introduction rather. So we're gonna see the boyfriend who is reacting to his oversized girlfriend. So this is a clip from Remote Phillips and Bianca. This is what it's gonna be about. I think you guys should be able to hear it. I'm gonna refresh.
Bianca's weight really affected the household kind of because Big Daddy got to do everything. I'm sick of it, really. She needs to get it together. We need to get it together because I need my help, mate. Oh, man. She young.
Where my syrup at, baby?
Come on.
Yeah. So this is the first thing. He's mentioning his complaints about his woman, his girlfriend, or I think his wife maybe, but he's actually giving her the food that is not gonna be helpful or beneficial to what she's actually doing or what what they want to change in their lifestyle. And perhaps for him, he wants his girl to be able to help around with the things that they need to do. But again, he's feeding her the food that wouldn't be beneficial to her in terms of losing weight. So this lady here, we're looking at someone who is 600 something pound, 600 pounds, and in kilos, it's let me take a look, 600 pounds in kilos. So that's about 272 kilos, and that's a middle-aged female. So this is really concerning because at this point it's like her whole life is basically put in a stop because she cannot do anything for herself, and she's dependent on her man to do everything else to help her out in terms of her daily life. So some people might see this as love, but again, when you look at it, it's like it's more of people can be trying to help you, but they are helping you with doing the wrong things, the things that she's not really need in her life.
Baby, you know, I got your whole tub, but get enough.
I'm ready for lunch.
Okay, she's ready for lunch already, and she did just basically had breakfast. Wait, what happened?
Bianca's like, I know she wants to be that vibrant woman that can move around, but right now, she can't stand up and cook. She can't stand up and wash no dishes. I know that much. And that ain't cool. Hold on, let me get this.
Did you already pack the food?
But he's complaining about what she's unable to do, or the fact that his woman is so massive, but he's giving her the type of food that wouldn't help her to actually lose the weight.
The road.
Yeah, I got you plenty of snacks.
Okay.
You know, your snacks took up half the back.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop to get something to eat because I'm hungry.
I bet you are. Tuck it in. You ready? Oh, one more time. Okay. Lord have mercy. Let me get these keys.
I'm just hit the spot, baby. I'm starting to already feel better.
Start.
Yeah. So now she just said something about they are driving. She ate before she got in the car, and they are driving to an appointment, and at the same time she's like eating something in the car. And that's when she's saying she feels better because she's eating something in the car at this moment. But that's a clear sign that she's eating based on her feelings. She have underlying feelings that she of past traumas that she haven't addressed that has been troubling her, but she never really took the time to address it, to solve it. But he's enabling her to actually be to stay the same.
Queen has arrived. Well, there it is. There you go.
What you mean by that?
There it is. There you go. Because I got to physically move all furniture by myself.
I'm trying. Do you want me to try to help you?
No, you can't do it. It's my house.
I don't know if I'm gonna make, baby. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Baby, you got up a couple of more. You want me to push you on this? I'll push you. Come on. Hold the door, son. Hold the door off. Hold the door off. I'm gonna push you. Since you can't take these last 5 steps and you wanted that good old Louisiana chicken, here you go. There you go. Ride the cart. Ride the cart. You can't, this fight can't go that far. So you gonna give up every time when Dr. No tell you about you can't eat this, you can't eat that. You gonna give up. You gonna give up. Here, there you go. Boom. Here, come on. I got
Wait,
it.
are you serious? This is all that was remaining for her to actually get to the door.
Help you up.
It's
You
done.
got come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You gonna have to get in her. Come on.
Oh, I gotta get myself together.
You wanna sit back down? Cause you sit back down, I'm not gonna help you this time. You like to kill me. Okay, come on. What? It's a whole bathroom in there, son. It's a whole bathroom. It's a good bathroom. Come on, she make it.
Okay, we're almost done.
There you go. I don't know where I'm gonna sleep, but I'll be honest.
I just don't feel good today. Maybe I'll feel better if I get this.
Bianca is way.
Wow. Okay, that was it. One thing's for sure is that we all have one life to live. So you gotta make a decision how you're gonna live that life. So the fact that she allow herself to be so big and to lose everything in terms of being so huge, so massive, and it is good that she have a man that is loving to her, but deep down inside, it's almost like he doesn't want her to get fit because of all the remarks that he's making and feeding her the type of food that is not gonna be helpful to her, and being somewhat an enabler, helping her or just taking the situation like that. But I do understand you need to have your support system around you, but your support system also has to be living in a situation that is reality. They have to be real with you and not just trying to protect your feelings or just telling you things that you just simply want to hear in order to, if you to in order to not hurt you, or probably because you could be hypersensitive. But you can see that she's hypersensitive in terms of, he said, there we go. She weighed herself and she found out she was about 600 plus pound. This is more than 272 kilos. That's a lot of kilos, and she's massive. She cannot even walk for not even 5 minutes, and it's not a way to live. I do understand this is a massive situation. This is a situation that is very, an exaggeration, but she had to go through a certain path to actually get there. But taking it now into your perspective of where you are, you might want to get physically active or start to be, to do your physical activities. But again, there are people who just basically don't want you to be fit. And it had to take a situation for her to get that big, for her to get that massive. There was a path along the way. It didn't just happen overnight, all of a sudden like this. So this is what we're gonna talk about: how to recognize when someone secretly doesn't want you to get fit, or perhaps when someone doesn't want you to change the things that you want to do to achieve in your life. But today we're talking about in particular fitness. So the reality is that some people may consciously or unconsciously react negatively when you prioritize your fitness. That's one thing for sure. It is rarely about your personally. A lot of the time it's not really about you personally, and it's more about their own internal conflict and social dynamic that they are going through. And there are also many reasons why this is happening, and we're gonna talk about it. So now look, listen. The first thing to understand why people doesn't want you, it could be your family, your friends, your partner, your lover, whoever. They don't want you to get fit, is that the first thing is that it highlights their insecurities. Because when some people see you making positive changes in your life, it can make them feel more aware about their own habits or lack of action to make themselves better. It can make them realize that this caused them to feel discomfort that can comes this so some of because you are changing your life. This can give them a source of discomfort that comes from basically realizing they could also make that change to take care of their fitness as well, instead of just confronting, or just basically instead of doing the work, they just want to basically stay in the same comfortness that they actually used to. And that can cause them to basically start to criticize you or undermine your effort. They might start to say, okay, why are you doing so much work? You are fine the way that you are beautiful and the way that you are. Although that doesn't mean just because you have a goal that you are going after your fitness, you want to stay fit or you want to get fit, or whichever reasons that you want to do fitness in. It's doesn't mean that you are not beautiful. It doesn't mean that. But again, you want to working in yourself to make yourself a different person or a better person than you actually see or envision yourself to be, is not a negative part of life. But some people would try to take something that is good and try to warp it and shift it into something that is negative and into something that is bad. And this is a key. This is one way to recognize this is their insecurities speaking. It has nothing to do with you personally. And the thing is, the reality of it is that they fear changing dynamics of your relationship. They fear that the relationship that you have with them, the dynamic is gonna shift, it's gonna change. What do I mean by that? So if you and this person have always bonded, or have always, whenever you go out or whenever you are together, you're having a good time, you eat a certain type of food, or you drink a certain type of drinks, or you spend time just sitting down together or doing some things fun together, which is your lifestyle. So when you want to leave that life behind, or you want to shift the course of your life, people doesn't like for them when you leave them in the way that they used to be, or the things that you used to do with them. They expect you to constantly be doing the same thing and staying in the same level with them. So that can cause your new lifestyle can shift the relationship dynamic. So what this does internally for them, it makes them become worried. It makes them become worried that your new lifestyle, you might feel that they might think that you're gonna feel more proud or more egoistic about your new lifestyle. They're gonna feel like you're probably gonna judge them, and you will no longer want to spend time with them. So their friendship or your friendship was based on a commonality of the things that you used to do, which was not helping you to get towards the goal that you wanted to do, which is getting fit. So this common ground become loose ground. It's not solid anymore. So that altogether just change the dynamic of your relationship. So it creates a situation where social comparison, and it creates a situation where they start to feel jealous about you or jealous of you. And you might think, okay, why are you jealous? Or sometimes you wouldn't even think that this person would be jealous of you because of the decision that you choose to make for yourself. Because, normally we all naturally think that, or most of us naturally think that when we are trying to better ourselves or do something good for ourselves, people should accept or understand that we're trying to better ourselves and not be jealous or envious of our goal because it's positive, you know, right? It's good. But one thing is for sure is that fitness often bring visible result such as more energy, more confidence, more and physical changes, which can trigger envy inside people. And especially if they don't want to do anything about their own lifestyle, or they don't want to make any changes about their own lifestyle, or they probably are lazy, they are procrastinating about it, or they're not prioritizing it. They are making excuses about it. And then you are the person who just say, okay, whatever, after all, I'm gonna do this regardless. And that's going to create secretly jealousy and envy within them. And again, it's nothing that you did to them personally. It's just because for them, their insecurities and their way of comparing you and them, it does, you know, you're not becoming the same person that they used to know. So some people might feel threatened if they perceive or if they see you are moving ahead of them, or becoming more attractive than them, or becoming more disciplined than they are. So these things create secret envy and jealousy, because most people just, again, they just like to, for you, if you have a friend group or whichever, most people cannot really truly control their emotions in terms of how they feel about other people, especially if you have, most times, if you have something that could be perceived as better than them, which probably in the reality of the situation is not that you are better, it's just that you are working on your own life. And people, it could be family, you wouldn't, it could be the person that you think that really love you, and then, you know, they start to feel such toxic emotions towards you. And you might think that, okay, it might make you feel confused, and you might ask them or ask yourself, why? I don't understand why this person feel like this. And the majority of the time is because, again, there's a misunderstanding of your motivation. They just basically don't understand your motivation, because a lot of the time when this happens is that people may misunderstand your fitness journey as well. So it can be sometimes a vanity or self-absorption. So they can be they can think that you are doing this because you are become so egoist, or you are just becoming more so much focused onto yourself that you're not gonna be thinking about them again. You're gonna be very absorbed, or basically you're gonna be very much selfish. So it becomes a critic of their lifestyle. They start to think about their lifestyle and things that are not going right for them, or the things that they are not doing. So you choosing to better yourself or to focus on your fitness secretly creates us the type of envy that makes them criticize themselves. And it becomes an extreme or observed behavior, or basically an obsessive behavior. Sometimes they can say, are you obsessive? Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to train hard as you do? Why do you have to train every week? Can't you take a week off? Can't you take a day, this today off? Sometimes you might think, okay, yeah, this person is trying to look out for me, this person is trying to, you know, show me love. But a lot of the time, this is one thing I always say, is to always try to stick with your plan, because you might not know what is the secret intention that people have. Sometimes good intention could seem as if it's coming from a good place, but again, you don't know exactly what their intention are truly. So if you have a planning and people are saying, or it could be your friends, or it could be your family, it could be someone that you're really close to, that doesn't mean that they don't love you, but it just means that their insecurities are, and their envy or their jealousy just basically come into action, or just being birthed because you decided to do something different. And one thing that you can always do is that if you recognize this, you can start to talk to them and try to bring them along with you if they choose to. If you know, you can invite them and say, okay, how about you do this as well? How about you sign up? Oh, that was firecrackers. Okay. Okay. Hold on, guys. Think that was it. That was some firecrackers. It's December, y'all. So this is I'm gonna be hearing this, or we're gonna be hearing this all December until January. So try to help them to also take their fitness serious. But again, even if you try to help them to take their fitness serious, that's not it doesn't mean that you have to ignore your own planning or ignore your own fitness goal. Tell them to talk to your coach. Tell them to talk to the people who has helped you. But if you a lot of the time, some people will just want to give these people something that is free, a free tip or a free whatever you're gonna give them freely. A lot of the time, they're not gonna do it. A lot of the time, they can also become very much they can look at you sideways, and their envy or jealousy of you can secretly even grow further because they might see you as you becoming a threat. They might think, okay, why are you becoming so do you think you're special because you know better? Do you feel that you are better than me? And that might not even be your intention, but it's just the way that they feel about you. It's not the way that they see you or the way that they take the situation. And they might not understand that for you, they might not understand it's about your health, it's about your mental clarity, it's about your longevity, or it's about your own self-improvement. A lot of the time, these people, they won't even look at these things. They won't even look at your ways or your goals that you are trying to achieve, your goals that you're trying to make yourself better. And it becomes a situation where they are also fearful, they develop an irrational fear of you, fearful of losing you, fearful of you becoming a person that would snap out of it, that would see their own securities, would make you, after you have gone into your fitness journey, and after you have get the results, and you've put in the work constantly, and you are staying disciplined, and sometimes their own fears might say, okay, this person wouldn't choose me if they lose all the weight, or this person wouldn't choose me if they actually work on themselves and prove themselves. And sometimes that insecurity is especially true in a relationship. Just like the introduction video that I played earlier. A lot of the time, there are some people that you might think that they are being a very supportive. It can be a parent. They are being you can think that they are being supportive to their child by feeding them all the time or overfeeding them, or making sure that they are always fed. Or it could be a partner that you're dealing with, someone in an intimate relationship, that that they are looking out for you, that they are feeding you, that they are telling you, you should eat, you should do this, you should enjoy life. But again, a lot of that can become from the situation of their insecurities, that they fear of losing you. They fear that if you'll get fit in your self-improvement journey, that you will feel that you become better than them. So basically, the big situation of this, of the big pillar or the foundation of this, is to understand most people don't like you to leave them and where they are. They always want you, it's like crab in a bucket. They always want you to stick with them. Even if you're doing a good thing or a bad thing, even if you're not happy or miserable, whichever, they always want you to stay in their nothingness. So if your fitness journey involves spending more time at the gym, or changing your diet, or making new friends in the fitness community, a partner, if that's these are these things, or basically prioritizing your own time and saying no to them whenever they spontaneously get into your life, or spontaneously trying to make plan for you. It could be a friend, it can be a partner, it can be a family member. They might feel that you're leaving them behind. So this is something that you also got to keep in mind as you're making your transition into your fitness journey, that your family can feel, or your partner, your friends, or everybody else that is in your life, in your circle, can feel that you're leaving them behind. And they can or they are fearful that you are changing in a way that they can't keep up with. they can feel that they cannot keep up with who you're gonna become, your new you, what you are working on, that they cannot keep up with you. So that secretly makes them fearful of losing you. And that might not be the case. It could be that it could be simply a family member. A lot of the time you don't wouldn't leave a family member. It could even be a partner. It could be that you are working on yourself, but not for the situation, to not for the reason of leaving them. It could be for your health. It could be for your self-improvement, whatever goal that you're trying to achieve, the reason why you are getting in your fitness journey. And people can feel that they're fearful of losing you. And you have to also understand this is what's actually going inside people. And a cultural aspect of this situation, there are social norms and cultural norms from different countries. Every country or every country or culture view bodies differently or view fitness differently. Some cultures can see fitness as someone that is massive, as someone that is big in size, or others can see someone that is slimmer or fit. There's cultures view people differently. There are social norms. So basically rules of how our person should look like, and different as per the culture that you are dealing with. Because in some groups, prioritizing health can be seen as breaking rank. So in some groups, meaning that when you see that you're prioritizing, when they see you that you're prioritizing your health, they might say, okay, do you think that you are better than us? Or do you feel that you are better than us? Or why are you doing this for? Why are you trying to be like this group instead of, being one of us? And if everyone in your office, for example, it could be in a situation, in an office situation, in a culture, because culture is not only limited to, a group and a part of the world or country, but also in your workplace or in your school or your family. There's a certain culture. So, for example, in an office space, it could be that in the office, eating donuts every morning, bringing a salad. If your office space, where you work, there's a certain type of food. It could be, sometimes it can be healthy, sometimes it can be not healthy, whichever situation it might be. But for your fitness goal, you decide, okay, you're gonna stick to the healthy kinds of food that you will eat at the office. So if in that office they decide, okay, the culture is to eat a donut in the morning, every morning, or eat some pastries, you bringing a salad might be a subtle way, or not so subtle way, of basically ridiculing the group norm. Ridiculing, or they say, oh, are you trying to feel that you are special or better than us? And are you trying to think that you cannot, do you feel that you are so special that you have to bring this healthy food into our office and to try to break the dynamics that we have going on? And the reason why also that a lot of people just basically, they don't want you to get fit is because their own past failures, and they can try to internalize their own past failures. They haven't had a chance to actually detangle it or focus on their internal failures and to make sense out of it, but to move away from the past failures. And they just take that and brand it on you or push it on you. For example, if someone has tried and struggled to get fit themselves, your success might remind them of their failure, and leading to, when your success brings them or reminds them of their own failures. And think about it, a lot of the time these people, when it comes to their failure, it could have been that they were not so committed, they were not so disciplined, they didn't really have this mindset of, I'm gonna keep going, or I'm gonna focus on the things that I need to do and ignore all the things that that doesn't serve my fitness goal. Perhaps there could have been many reasons why they did not, why they become a failure, or why they did not succeed in that fitness goal. Because one thing is for sure, once you have a fitness goal and you are consistent and you stick to it, you will experience the result. So if they didn't experience results, so for them, they feel that they are a failure. And because you are becoming successful yourself, that can lead into them feeling resentment for you, or they also can feel discouragement rather than support. They can feel that, okay, they're not gonna support you because you should also be in the same basket that they are in. You should feel that way they are feeling, and they don't want you to be, they don't want you to be better than them. Most people don't want you to feel or be better than them. So that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. But the main question is how to navigate this when you experience this situation, because I've told you how people are gonna feel, or what the reason why they're gonna feel like this. And now we're gonna talk about how to go about when you experience that people are feeling this way about you when it comes to your fitness. What can you do about this? So first thing you gotta do is to lead with empathy, not defense, not trying to defend yourself. Understand that their reaction is about themselves. It's not about you. So you might say, I know it might seem like I'm doing things differently lately, but this is really important for my health and happiness. I mean, if you say something like this, if they're gonna have an objection, they can say, well, I think you're taking this serious. I see, if any sort of reaction that they might have against this would seems as if they are against your health and against your own happiness. So when you phrase it like this, when you lead with empathy and not defending yourself, you that's through knowing that your fitness goal is for your health and for your own happiness, or whichever other goals other reasons why you choose to go into your fitness journey. And one thing to understand as well is that a lot of the time when someone go into their fitness journey, I told you guys earlier, you can try to brand these people along with you. But again, it's hard. It can become harder in your journey yourself if you are dragging or pulling someone that doesn't want to be pulled. So another way, a subtle way that you can sometimes be pulling them that you don't even know, it can be a physical way, or it could be like sending them information or sending them what you're doing, your plan. But all of that is not gonna help them at all. So they will see it, but again, it's not gonna help them, because what's gonna help them is to take the action. That's the differentiator. That's what's gonna make the differences. So one thing that you gotta do is to avoid preaching or judging them. Just share your journey only if they ask you. And sometimes you have to understand, when you're in your journey and making your self-improvement journey, sometimes this is where we can say it can be a lonely path, because not everybody going to understand you or accept the fact that you're doing this. Don't try your best to not offer advice that if they didn't ask you for advice if they didn't ask you about advice about your habits themselves. Do not try your best to just keep the relationship that you have with them, and keep this path about yourself for yourself, and only speak about it if they ask about it. And find common ground. The third thing that you want to do is suggest activities you can still enjoy together. It could be a walk, or a healthy cooking night, or try a new active hobby, a hobby that is physically active. And also, what you're gonna do is that, since I said earlier that it can become a lonely path, because the one that you feel that should be with you or should support you in your journey might not. They might secretly, just want you to fail. So what you gotta do is that you need a counterbalance. You need a tribe. You need people who are like-minded, people who are on the same path as you are, to surround yourself with people who support your goal. And whether it's a fitness class or online community like this, or a friend with similar lifestyle. And also, you got to always try your best to stay humble and authentic with yourself. Stay humble and authentic with yourself. Let your results speak for themselves. People generally respect your commitment over time. You know, you can be trying to explain your results, but what people would be more appreciated of is when they see your commitment, when they notice that you are when they notice that you have, you know, gained the results. So basically, it's on really on you to actually to bring the result, to keep working so you can have the results yourself, so you can have that to show them. And reassure, sometimes you have to reassure your loved ones. And close relationship, reassuring your loved ones that your goal isn't to leave them behind, and if possible, include them in a way that feels comfortable for both of you. So it's like giving them more security that, okay, I'm doing this, I'm actually in this self-improvement goal. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna leave you behind. That doesn't mean things are not gonna change me within you and I. This is what I'm doing for myself. And remember this, that your health and well-being is in your hands, is up to you. While it's kind of this considered, it is kind to consider the feeling of other people. But again, you are not responsible for managing or other people's discomfort with your self-improvement. You are not responsible to try to make other people feel better because because you are working on making yourself better. It is for them to learn how to manage their own feelings. It is for them to actually, learn to, pick it up too, do something also as well. And it should be seen as an inspiration without even, saying that you are an inspiration. Because often what you have to understand is that the resistance fade once people adjust to the new you. And sometimes you might even inspire them to start their own journey as well. So, but what you got to understand is that even if you don't inspire them, even if they don't accept your new self, or who you want, who are you trying to be, and your self-improvement, stay true to your path and build that will help you to build resilience and also self-trust that goes far beyond just your fitness. And that will help you as well to stay strong and trust yourself, trust the journey, and stay consistent.